Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Firstly, we are very grateful for this opportunity for again to do this interview. We are a group of students from MS Ramaiah University of Applied Science, pursuing second year BTech in CSE. As part of our entrepreneurship subject, we have to interview an entrepreneur who's successfully running a startup. So we are here to know about you and your journey, sir. First, can you please introduce yourself and tell us about your company?
So, my name is Kiran, and I head the company called Value Vector. So, the organization we see here is a group of organizations, and which are, I would say, it's not an LLP, but it's sort of an LLP where there are four members who have performed this. We have an architectural setup on the first floor, and we have a software division in this ground floor. That's the, I would say, the classification of this vertical. So the value workers is a platform, it's a horizontal, and we have multiple verticals. Couple of verticals are microservices, couple of verticals are pure staff augmentation programs, and we have few verticals which are customized uh, developments. Right? So those are the verticals. The horizontal is the one which provides the resources, which provides the infra, whereas the verticals are the ones which adopts all this and then customizes the requirement that they have. Example, one of our vertical is to provide the services for senior. So we have uh, I would say, website because it's more of a infra itself. Uh, so we have what is called as OHM, O.com. In electrical terms, O means resistance, whereas in the Hindu, the Om is a kind of Om Shanti. So it's called senior care, where this is the only platform in the world where it's an aggregation of senior care providers at the same time providing an ERP for senior care providers. So it's not that people have to just onboard and provide a service. They onboard and they kind of leverage our ERP capabilities. When I say ERP, competitors have the different two ERPs. I'm sure you stuff. So ERP is the one-stop solution for all your business activities, be it HR, payroll, MIS, analysis, analytics, then staff payment, customer payment, order creation, right? And then we onboard senior care providers onto this for the lead management, for the operational management. For example, staff payment, salary payment, we can do our ERPs, right? So one of the customer is quite complicated, which is management. So Home is the Home is the platform for senior. There are people who will use this platform similar to the SaaS, but then they also leverage the capabilities of this platform so that it becomes ERP for them. So that's the working model, right? So we have value workers. On top of value workers, we have a senior care platform. We also have a industrial B2B product platform. The uniqueness of this platform again is it's a collection of customized tools on one end and standard tools on the other end. Customized tapes on one end, standard tapes on the other end. When I say tape, there are nearly 300 tapes that we are sourcing and trading. So it's a trading platform. At the same time, it helps people to customize. So the tool platform is called as value tools. And other value tools we have multiple. I will show you some of the platforms which we have there. Right. So again, value workers is the horizontal. You have a category called as O, which will take care of all the senior care service providers. We have value tools, which will take care of all the industrial products, be it packaging tapes, be it medical tapes, uh, then mobile tapes, automotive tapes, many others. So, right. So one of the key customers for us is Sri Vessel Tapes, which is a listed NSE listed company. We are the ones who sell nylon cotton fabric, which is a unique product from South India. There's nobody is apart from platform. So that's the beauty. Then there is a third vertical. This vertical is about practice. So customized traffic data happens with your Corel Draw photo. So all companies are Corel photo. That's the number. So we have the same thing here, which caters to all kind of customized designs. Be it photograph, be it Photoshop, Corel Draw, film Draw. I'm sure you guys have already made all those things. They are the premium food aggregators, right? If you across the globe, there is nobody going to run the box. It's a Bangalore based organization. No one in the world is close to even corporate. Right? So they aggregate food service providers and they provide the service across all tech parks. So it's one of the premium company you can start with your category. So we are actually developing a platform very similar to the food aggregator platform, catering to a 5-member tech park all the way to 50,000. So these are the verticals which we manage for. These are
What inspired you to build a career in app and web-based development?
there is nothing, no inspiration, right? So there is no inspiration. No, the inspiration is not in starting. Inspiration should be in terms of continuing. Right? I'm sure you guys can start hundreds of things. Thought process is how do you continue, how do you develop, and how do you complete. I come from a banking background, and I was with Citibank. I was in electricity, but with Citibank, and you know, the core thought process is no human intervention. Right? So that's the thought process to get works, and I think that is what I can know also. So there is no point in building applications or developing applications. Adoption is the key. And to me, the inspiration is whatever I develop, how easy is it for the end customer to go ahead and adopt. So that's what inspiration is. For example, a veterinary care. You have a nurse who have no clue how to use a regular cell phone. Forget about a smartphone. If you give them a regular phone, they will not even know how to take phone number. They will just say one radio description, it is my phone, right? You have people in that spectrum. How do I enable them through technology so that they really don't get into a stressful mode to actually run? If I go and tell them, you need to send a WhatsApp, then forget about WhatsApp, they not understand. Right? How can I build technology for people? And if it gets adopted, that's it. What inspired me? Technically, nothing inspired me to start. What is inspiring me is adoption. Whatever we are building, we are adopting it. Today, we have nearly 200 senior care patients across Bangalore, all catered with our 950 members. We have a rehab center in Bengal. We have listed our company, our customer has listed the company basis on if our app goes down, then it's a regulatory issue. They are going to pay hefty fines. Right? So everything is dependent on how we build, what we build, and how it operates so that adoption is in. So whenever you guys get time, look first Vasavi Heresic Tapes. That's the listed company. The entire infra is provided by us. So these are so again, one more thing is what again inspires me is not to build a React a full stack app, right? So it could be as simple as a just drag and drop Shopify website. Right? We have something called as just become a one of our customer is a gallery. If I give him a full stack app, either he will be able to afford the app, nor will he be able to adopt it. So we put a mix drag and drop website for him on the lower end of the that's the website. On the high end of the spectrum, we have full stacks.
Why
I will coffee, not drink. I think the interview need not be so formal, right? Is there a maybe can just really tell me that. Actually, I don't know if I just say right. So when I went to the interview for Amazon, I was the India head for Amazon for legal compliance and recipe, right? And the senior VP, I had gone to the Thai place and Chaska. And the senior VP came with a simple note here. He just walked in and the interview was okay. And I think we can get to that. So,
Why did you choose like software field? Is it because you were already working in that field or you had to talk other things?
I think I can go back to 1995. Forget about software. People did not remember the word software. Right, so I was working for a company called Miko, and we were manufacturing multiple things. One of the product was called as alternator, which is a key product even today used in any car. Car runs on alternator. I mean, if you have a petrol car, it has an alternator. Even now, there is no car in the world, no petrol car in the world with an alternator. So we were manufacturing alternators, and I was actually assigned to a team who actually was the testing of the alternator, and we were supposed to make the entry minutes. We ran this for 30 minutes, used to make all the what do you call written copies, and then we brought a first input. So everybody were afraid in terms of how to do, what to do. And everything. There is no YouTube at that time. Like, everything is a button called F1. If you need to learn Excel, you need to press F1. Small book will open in that, and you have to read it, right? And so people are not so. I was the first person who kind of tried and started Excel from there. And in 2003, when I joined Dell, there was a requirement to manage nearly 1,500 employees' attendance, payment, and I built a model called Lock Record. So even today, there is using that model. So it's in a different version. But first Lock Record was 300. Okay, and when I started building this, that's where it's kind of again reinforced my thoughts and if you build mechanisms, operations will be more smooth. Right? So I'm an operations person. So for me, operations enabled by technology, by software, by hardware, by infra, all these things are the ones which will actually make me kind of very happy with it. So that's the reason why I chose this. And initial applications which I built were like, today it's a low code. Back then, in 1995 and 8 was going on, they were really the high end products. So, that's
So my questions were, how do you optimize the performance of the website and
when you say optimize, are you speaking about the technical optimization or you're speaking about let's say, the adoption of the
technical?
technical optimization is, I think, now it's quite straightforward, right? How, in terms of the load time to load, what's the kind of, how do we ensure the real estate is good enough where we don't have to run between pages, we don't have to scroll down, scroll up, we don't have to traverse between multiple applications. So those are the kind of stuff which I look at. Personally, I believe in simple designs. Take an example for Google. You only have a text box. Everyone sees only a text box. What runs behind is a mammoth of algorithms. But what you see and what people work with is simple text box. Right? Now that made life easier for everyone because basic a person with very limited knowledge also can type whatever comes to their mind. Without really bothering with the algorithms. Right? So when you ask me for optimization, my optimization are on two fronts. One is obviously the technical front, which is how fast do you load this site, how do you ensure that there are minimal scrolls, how do you ensure that you have the relevant compliant example when you take a website, you have those compliances, right? So your H1 H2s, so that is probably requisite. How do we ensure that we define what I want to build upfront? Should we build an AI first? Should we build an SI first? Should we build a, let's say, an option first platform? What is it that you want to build? Defines my optimization strategy. Two, optimization is a resource optimization. right? If you want to post it on a cloud, how do I optimize my costs? How do I optimize my usage? How do we ensure enough data is stored, but then you don't end up extracting so much of data? Example, use paginations. I'm sure you would have heard pagination, right? So whenever we build any app, one of the key things that we ensure is we extract limited number of tokens. We use limited number of tokens. Tokens as well. And the best thing is, right now in your world, Claude, if you are able to think through very well and write a query to get what you want in a free version of Claude, then I believe you are optimized. Because you have limited number of tokens, right? So if you are able to do something with this kind of whatever you want to do with the free version, then I think same thing is what I apply here. Can we do something with limited number of tokens, with limited number of data items? I'm sure you would have known the cost of database is quite high, right? If I want to pull data from a database, it's quite high. We always keep sourcing what's a cost-effective method to manage it in multi-cloud environment. So that when we extract information, we spend less. On top of it, from a speed perspective, right now I think we are slowly moving away from APIs to MCP structure. So that is taking care of all your speed-related technical specifications. Then yeah, those are operational. Resource perspective, yeah, so all our resources are multifaceted. So we use N8 workflows now. We use WhatsApp integrations. So the adoption is quite high. At the same time, it's quite easy as well. Technically, it is very strong and easy for us to manage because all of these are managed through Postgres or CLDB. We prefer CLDB, of course, market prefers Postgres. So our optimization is to ensure that we use the right combination of the backend and the, for example, Rust and the CLDB. I'm sure you would have heard. So you worked on CLDB. You heard of Rust. You heard of Neon, Postgres, Neon, Postgres. So you have a combination. The combination should be good enough. If you use CLDB and Rust, it requires a high-end technical capability, that improves the technical capability. Postgres is another thing. Even within Django, when I come to optimization, we are very clear whether are you going to use Flask or are you going to use right? So Django, Flask. Small applications we use Django. Complex applications we use Flask. So when you guys start using, I would suggest do this. Have you guys built any applications in Python? We need to do this.
Sir, how do you ensure security in web applications?
Again, it depends. Right? If it's a cloud version, I don't even bother. Now there is cache memory is what we need to do. It's PIL, a lot of information. We need to have encryptions. So all the data that passed has to be encrypted. All the information that is stored has to be encrypted. It has to be logins have to be unlimited, multi-factor authentication. Right? It cannot be if it's a commercial enterprise, it's just logins, single sign-on applications. Right? If it's a individual application, then obviously all the minimum regulatory requirements. So when you go to inspect, I'm sure you would know how to check for the compliances, right? So if it's a US boundary application, for example, we are building our first project business consulting, it's a mortgage operations. Since it works in US, we need to ensure that the data management is compliant to what is called as California Consumer Protection and CCPA. Most critical act of California. Any California customers have the right to know what we are doing with the data. And if they ask us, we need to give the entire information that we have with us and allow them to make decisions. Now in India, DPDP is running. I'm sure you have heard. So our website has to be compliant with GDP regulations. Europe, GDPR. Right? So GDPR is the first one, and right now when it comes to US, we try to manage for CC compliance. Uh, for insurance, we ensure that we are with the LOMA. So LOMA compliance regulations are always applicable. Our Medicare is actually LOMA compliant. If it can take this various. So those are the ways I'm trying to manage the compliances, regulations, and the security part. Protocols are always there. Access management is very as I told you, is through SSO, it's a commercial one. Otherwise through MFA. Or nothing is there, at least through a token. So we really need to know the sourcing is in.
Sir, how do you balance by adopting AI technologies while maintaining creativity, quality, and client-specific customization?
The best thing about AI is you really don't need to do all this, right? There is no defined path. Well, AI doesn't have a definition. The whole point of AI is not to have a defined path, right? Whatever comes to mind, in Claude, if I want to question that back to you, how do you do that in Claude? You can't do it. You have a search bar, you want to do it as a search, do it as a search. You want to build an app, build an app. You want to come up with your own coding, do whatever comes to mind, right? So to your question, there is no set path, right? What we really need to, I would say, my perspective, is if we want to ensure that we have a balance of creativity, all these things, I would rather look than adoption better. You can have an amazing website. Nobody will want to look at it. Have you heard of what a website called ETSP? ETSP. Okay. So using XE, you can actually have a look at this. Yeah. So here's XE. Look at this. It's so good to look at, right? But in this entire room, nobody knows about it. So now there is not a balance. In my mind, is not a balance. In my mind, I would rather have a website which is having a little bit of adoption than extreme end of creativity, right? So I mean, there is no into this. So I would actually look at adoption as a key metric to understand more than adoption. Yeah. If you Shopify, you have Wix, you have Squarespace, you have Name, you have hundreds of all of these things. How many of you actually Shopify is a listed website? This is a listed website, listed company beyond that. So I will stick with Wix and Shopify. And Squarespace or Name. So that's how I would ask that. And that word called AI, where it was saying how we will show now, we balance all of this. My point is the technical angle. So what is the AI works on models? What are the key metrics for models? Convergence and accuracy, right? So how do we ensure we have very less false positives, false negatives? How do we ensure this process? How do we ensure the model output is accurate? One of the example is I was looking for Amazon. Right? If I just go to Amazon and now if I go to Amazon, right? So when I go here, let's say I just write a word called pen. Right? Now it's very easy for us to understand this is pen. But how does this model look at it? You can have a look at it, right? There are so many things that is coming up, right? But pen drive is also a part of the output. So now, how do I ensure what I think and what I need as an output is matching, right? So the accuracy is what I would have to look at it from a AI perspective. When you build a model, how do we ensure the results are accurate for a prompt or whatever we give as an input, where we are not specified. And I don't specify pen drive, and I just given an input as pen, it will give me pen. But if there's an image called pen drive, somehow learn that pen drive can also be part of it, right? So those are
What database do you prefer and how do you communicate that?
Database. I think I answered that. Right? So I prefer a Russian CRDB. CRDB is what I prefer as a database. But then cost is a factor which normally does not allow me to go ahead and pay customers. So on top of it, it's an overkill for small enterprises, right? So to manage this, we have Postgres Neon, we have Postgres. Ideally, we use Postgres, and I personally am against MongoDB or this NoSQL version is good to have those that makes it beyond which I would rather stick to a Postgres or a CLI. Scaling is perfect. If you want to have sharding, we never use Postgres. So you need to be clear when you want to build a app whether sharding is required. What's the DB size? Compatibility between the users. For example, if you are going to use React and website, right, and Postgres, then pagination becomes an issue. So if your end app requires a lot of pagination, you don't need to do this. It doesn't make sense. So those kind of stuff is a lot of. And then again coming back to the our option, I would rather work backwards. What is my end UI? In that UI, what are my critical components? Because those components get supported by the team and the front end. So I don't think we can go along. It has to go along with the vehicles. So it has to be compatible.
Developers and keep that in product.
No need of motivation. If you can't motivate yourself to write a piece of code, what else would you want? Right? Number one. Number two, backend is at least I will still look at this syntax analysis. UI is like you are creating that's the peak of the creative thing that you can.
Thank you so much, sir.